I see what you mean. Yeah, that is true. We'll play with it. I think we've got about, I don't know. I mean, it depends on when we want to do it, but I feel like end of January is usually what I like because it gives us a little bit more time.
That gives me time, yeah. Because I feel like now at around this time of year is whenever I'm really thinking about like, shit, I missed all these fucking games, and so it's like, yeah.
So we've got a little bit of time to mess with it, but I really want to do that again because I think this is a good year for music in games.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So we can talk about some more ways to do that. More importantly, I have some show and tell today.
Okay. Let's go.
Oh shit!
Should I do a live unboxing?
Are you gonna unbox it, dude? You're not gonna resell it?
While you're doing that, I'm gonna mention the thing PlayStation.
You're not gonna resell it?
Have you booted up your PlayStation in the past few days?
Dude, no, but I heard about it. I need to do that.
Very cool.
I need to do that. How long does it last for, I wonder?
I don't know. I'm afraid it's gonna go away any moment.
Yeah, I should do that today just to hear it because I'm gonna be on a trip this whole week. So if they got rid of it this week, it would actually hurt my feelings.
Yeah, I picked PlayStation 2 and it was so fucking awesome.
Oh my god. Yeah, I need to do that immediately. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's open this bad boy.
Boomer said if you didn't see it, PlayStation did a thing for the anniversary where when you boot up the PS5, you get to
does the classic logo, the PS1.
Yeah, you get to pick a theme associated with one of the other consoles, and it like remodels.
Yeah, you can pick any
does
console.
all the sounds that are based off of the sounds from that console that you pick.
To be honest with you, this is like
really nice.
Actual heresy, but I mean, I really like PS1. I think PS2 is probably the one I have the most nostalgia for. But honestly, PS3 was kind of a fucking banger, dude. Like the orchestra.
That's a weird take.
No,
That's a super strange take.
No, it's not. The orchestra warm up, like like all the strings and everything.
I
like
have
getting
more
ready.
nostalgia for like the PSP's little menu than I do the PS3, and they're kind of similar, but.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I only heard the PS3 one probably 10 times because that's how many games they have. But
true.
But I really think that like it would be. I think you guys are selling it short here. I mean, it felt classy, man. It was cool.
I'm gonna pull it up. PS3 startup.
Okay, so after getting a really annoying tape off, you open it up. You open it up. And there's a bunch of little symbols. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. There's a bunch of little symbols, and there's a 3 next to the circles for 30.
Wow,
that's pretty cute.
Adorable.
I can't believe you just made me look this up and remember how ass the fucking PS3 was.
No, it's got
that shit was so fucking garbage.
No, dude,
it almost single-handedly lost them that entire generation.
No, it didn't.
That UI is so bad.
Come on.
And then they were like, "I want to do this again for the PSP," and they did it. It's like, why, bro?
They made
it worked for the PSP.
They made the like mesh or styrofoamy bag gray also, which I like because it's usually white on the regular controller, right? Yeah, it is a PS5 controller. Actually, you know what? So the limited edition one, I didn't think about this, but that looks nice. Is that silver?
This is a silver, yeah.
That looks good. So.
I like it.
How well, I guess Crossley you have clearly because yours is a different one. The 2 controllers that I have are both from launch. So, and I know they changed some things at some point. Like the button click, like some of the buttons are supposed to feel different. From what I recall, particularly the D-pad. Was something that they had updated between the versions of the controller because people were complaining about the D-pad not being responsive enough before.
Really?
So, yeah.
I can't tell what's
that's
different.
A weird
honestly.
thing.
Yeah.
for a PlayStation controller. Usually that's something you would say about like Xbox or anything else, really.
Yeah,
but
the D-pad
for the PlayStation controller is so good.
Is this the first time? Yeah, maybe that's true. It feels like the layout of the D-pad is a bit different than what they normally do. Like it feels more spaced. Is that dumb?
Really?
Does that make sense?
I don't know. I'd have to have the other one next to me.
Yeah. Yeah. This thing is, I'm glad I happened to be, I was on like a plane getting ready for a work, travel thing. And I was just on my phone and I was like, I'll just check Blue Sky really quick. I load up Blue Sky and Wario64, God bless his heart, had posted that these were available on Amazon. And I was like, it was less than a minute ago and I just logged in and bought it. And so I'm happy to have one of these 30th anniversary controllers.
Hell yeah.
I didn't get the fancy one, obviously. What do they call it?
There's a fancier version?
What the fuck? Is it the Edge? They call it the Edge, the DualSense Edge.
I called that. Yeah.
Oh. With the paddles in the back? Is that
yeah, and it's just like a little bit nicer components and stuff like that, but it's the equivalent of the Xbox Pro.
That's okay. I'll buy another
Elite.
PS5 controller once a year. That's all right.
Once a year?
I actually already bought another fucking controller. So I have this one has fucking stick drift, and then this is the good one.
Oh
so
God, you need to label them.
One of them literally already is fucked, which I bought this January of 2023.
That's crazy.
So yeah. So it's not like actually no, because I bought this so it lasted about a year because I bought this new one like a while ago already.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. But people have been talking about like how quickly these fucking controllers break, and they're right.
I have noticed for me that I usually keep my controllers the entire console generation unless I drop it. One of my PS5 controllers, the one that I bought two at launch, like the one that came with the console plus one, just in case, whatever. So I had two. The plus one that I bought just stayed in the box since the PS5 came out. I just never took it out.
Oh, damn.
So when I first booted up Astrobot, first of all, that controller I've been using that whole time since then dies in like 12 seconds. But secondly, I started playing Astrobot and I was like, the rumble in this controller that I've been using sounds like there's a bunch of loose sand in here. Like it's just really bad. It's like a little rattly. And I'm like, okay, well that's kind of annoying. And I opened up the one that was still in the box and it wasn't like that. So something happened at some point. It probably fell on the ground or something. But now outside of this really indicates how much people are actually like developers are taking advantage of that advanced rumble feature. Because now that I have gotten further away from Astrobot, I forgot which controller's which. The only way I can tell is if I turn it on, does it start to die more quickly than the other one? That's it. So
yeah, I forget. What was there was a game that I was playing recently. Oh my God, I can't believe I can't think of what it is. But I was really, really happy that they decided to utilize the rumble in the controller. Because I was in a giant something. I forget what it is. But whenever the machine would like stomp on the left foot, then the left side of the controller would shake. And then whenever it stomped on the right foot, then the right side of the controller would shake. And I was like, this is fucking genius.
What were you playing?
Amazing. I can't think of what it is now. But this was this year too. So if I go back.
Weird. I'm trying to think, it sounds familiar to me, but I don't know. Was this like Horizon or something?
That's what I'm thinking, but I didn't play Horizon.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
This year.
You did replay Horizon a little bit.
Oh yeah, I played it on PC.
Oh, do they have the Rumble on PC? I wonder if you're using it.
Yeah,
maybe. Oh yeah.
That's cool.
Yep.
That's cool. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, there's even a handful of non Sony games that have it
Nice.
as well. Yeah.
Nice. Hell yeah. Yeah. I need to yeah, I think I'm gonna play those one day.
The Horizon games.
Yeah. Just to see what the world's leading industry plant franchise is up to.
Pretty good games.
I'm mad that
He's with Big Horizon.
Yeah, he
Big
is.
gorilla.
You can tell. You can tell it in his eyes. Look at how woke
He's
he
been
is.
staying in Killzone for as long as I can remember, and now he just loves Horizon. Ooh, coincidence.
Yeah. Um.
I was checking our games recently to see if there was anything crazy that's happened in the past couple weeks. But so far, like, we have played Marvel Rivals 2 nights in a row. Whoa! Since it came out 2 days ago. It was
Fun?
pretty good. Yeah, it's actually pretty fun. It was way more fun on the second night than the first night.
Yeah, one of my buddies messaged me yesterday and asked me if I was going to be playing it because he knows me. So I think he just assumed I'd play it just because I'm a gamer and I like Marvel stuff. And it's like, fair enough. But no, I hadn't really thought about it. He's like, dude, it's fun as fuck.
It's pretty
fun. And I'm like,
It's pretty fun, and the characters are versatile enough, like in terms of just like the differences amongst all the characters. You'll find something that you like for sure.
so first question I have, is it literally just Overwatch third person, or is it got some different modes that kind of
I think you would be pretty safe unless you were around a rabid Overwatch fan to call it Overwatch, but there's very little differentiation. Even the game modes themselves are basically the exact same. So one of the cool things that they did add for this is that there are team synergies that are which is basically like meta stuff that the devs are going to force on the community. So like every will be new team synergies. So and then are pretty cool as well. So there's not really all that much that allows it to stand out from just being Overwatch Marvel characters, but it's cool. It's a lot.
Okay, my Discord was just like having a
Hello?
meltdown.
I
No,
wasn't
mine
sure
was
if it
too.
was me or what.
Dude,
but
what the
I was
fuck?
just letting Merced ride
'Cause I was looking
could hear
away.
everything he was saying.
No,
I was looking.
I was like, if it's just me, then I'm just gonna chill and
Right?
not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so you heard all of that?
I heard all of it.
I heard
but-
all of it, but I mean, I was just like, I'm not gonna say anything in case I
Yeah.
sound like
Okay,
a
so you-
robot or it's not. Gonna
Okay.
work.
Literally same.
Yeah.
As long as you heard about me up until like destructible environments, it doesn't matter.
I heard
But yeah,
everything you said.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I could tell Discord was having like an aneurysm or something.
It was it was a little choppy for me, but I could get it all. Like I knew
Yeah.
what was going on, but I kept looking at the. So that was a Discord thing. That was everybody.
I
that was
guess so.
absolutely Discord. I
Okay,
don't know who.
okay.
Someone tripped over a fucking cable over
Dude,
there.
I I started to like open up speedtest.net. I was like, what's happening
Literally.
here? No, my internet's fine. And then
Sweating.
suddenly I was like, oh my God, is like a game updating right now? It's like Cyberpunk 2077 downloading an 80 gig update. And I'm like shitting my Discord connection or something. Okay. All right. Good. Whew. Well,
Windows 11.5 is installing.
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
You should 100% give it a shot. You too, Chandler, because you
I
liked
actually-
Overwatch when we were playing it together too.
Yeah. So, I am interested. I mean, if it's fun, I'll play it for sure. I think
it's gonna have a sweaty factor to it.
eventually, right?
We
need
literally
to,
all already figured out that 2-2-2 is like probably the way to go. So 2 healers, 2 tanks, and then 2
Yeah.
DPS.
I think
Is it crossplay?
it must
a good
be.
question.
It must be. There's just no way it's not.
Who made it?
That's another good question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's it called?
Developer
Rivals?
says NetEase. Well, Marvel
Rivals.
produced it, right? And then NetEase
NetEase.
made it. I don't know who these people are.
Can't remember. That name is so familiar.
Yeah,
I know.
it is
NetEase is a big company. I mean, they're
Yeah,
Chinese. I don't know. Like,
Oh, are
I
they
feel
like
like
a Nexon?
Yeah, except Nexon's Korean, I think. But yeah, I mean, NetEase makes a lot of games. I think they primarily up until now have focused on their market, right? Like the Chinese market. But I mean, I think. Do you remember that Naraka Blade Point
Hell yeah.
game?
That's a cool ass game.
That was them. So yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'd like to give it a shot. I think so Saturday, Jennifer leaves for the holidays, and I'm just gonna be fucking blitzing through all the games I gotta get through. So I'm gonna between that, like I'll probably, other than work, whatever that is, other than work, I'll be gaming, and I'd love to play some more multiplayer stuff before the end of the year, so I can see if anything needs to be considered on the list. I mean, I'd like, yeah, I would like to revisit some co-op things like Dark Tide and Helldivers and things like that too. I wonder. Remember that weird fucking early access game we played, Pilgrim or whatever? I wonder if they added anything to that. That'd be kind of cool to see.
Yeah, if there's been like a major update, that game seems like one that I'm okay with letting sit in the oven for a while just to see what they come up with in like 6 months time or whatever.
I saw a lot of people have been playing. What was the ghost hunting one? Phasmophobia. I feel like people have been getting back into Phasmophobia.
It dropped on PS5.
Oh, gotcha. And it seemed like they added a lot of content to it.
They did do a big update, and they've progressively done updates over time. So a lot of people came back and have been getting into it. Yeah. Me and Cole have been playing a little bit because he has the PSVR, so he's been playing it in VR with me.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Fuck
I watched a clip the other day of someone playing it in VR, and someone was like waiting around a corner to scare their buddy in VR, and they scare I don't know if it's fake or not. I'm just gonna, for the sake of the enjoyment, pretend it's not. But the person that got scared shit themselves, dude.
Hell yeah.
Iconic. I fucking laughed so hard.
I love poop.
Yeah. Poop's pretty
Poop
good.
Does make everything a lot funnier. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
So. We're back, in case you couldn't tell.
True.
Welcome home. Welcome home to video games. You're listening to the Infinite Scale podcast. As always, William Chandler here in the host chair. Joining me is Chris Crossley.
What's up?
And Christopher Merced.
Hi.
The 3 C's: William, Chris, and Chris. I'm for doxing purposes, I'm not going to give away my middle name. If you don't already know it, you don't need to know. So I kind of figured today we would get together and there was something that I don't know, Crossley, if you found out, but Merced and I did talk a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw that. I was wondering.
Yeah, we talked. Specifically, some things came up that we realized we wanted to wait until you were on to discuss, because there was a pretty intense debate there for 13 seconds about whether a DLC can be Game of the Year or not. So in general,
we talked about the game of the year list.
I forgot about this.
we have not talked about the Game
What-
Awards nominees. No,
Yeah,
we
Game
have not.
Awards. We can talk about that, right?
I would like to talk
absolutely.
about that. I think it
Okay.
would be really good. So
Pull that shit up.
yeah. So everyone on Earth has probably already talked about this, but I have not
But
gotten.
they're all waiting for us to talk.
Yeah, they need to know what we think before they can really decide. Actually, the reason we're doing this now is because Jeff Keighley wants to listen to this before he has to do the show, so he can decide.
Oh, he emailed you too?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Shit.
Dude,
Okay.
he's constantly blowing me up. I'm getting emailed all the time. But he said, listen, we're waiting on you. You're holding up the show at this point, so you guys got to record. So here we are. I mean, who are we to deny? What did I call him? Video game youth pastor Jeff Keighley. What exactly what he needs?
Okay, Dorito King.
Yeah, the Dorito King, the Mountain Dew man himself. Mahatma Mountain Dew.
That's a Monsieur Mountain
Is
Dew.
Death
Oh, Monsieur
Stranding
is pretty
2
good.
called On the Beach? Is that real?
It is.
Is
I
it
mean,
on the beach, Death Stranding, or is it
It's Death Stranding 2 on the beach, right?
Fuck
Correct.
yes.
Isn't that
Thank
it?
you, Kojimbo. Thank you.
Kojimbo.
So for most anticipated game, Death
Mhm.
Stranding 2, Ghost of Yote, what the fuck is that?
Ghost of Yote
Grand
is
Theft
the
Auto 6.
Ghost
But
of.
compared to these other titles is what
Oh,
I
I
mean.
see.
Like,
I see. Okay.
Grand Theft Auto 6, Metroid Prime 4, Monster Hunter Wilds. What do y'all think wins?
Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah.
I think it's
Especially-
Grand Theft Auto or Monster Hunter.
I think it's
just because
easy.
recency bias for Monster Hunter, it being like right now, it's coming. But like Grand Theft Auto is like nebulous. It's coming eventually.
I
Sure.
think about Monster Hunter Wilds every day, literally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like people are ready for it. dude. So many people I talk to at work, that's all they talk about is like how excited they're about
Okay.
Monster Hunter. Anyway,
So some things I want to call out here
yes.
just immediately. They have a lot of categories. I mean, fair enough. They should. Most of them are not going to be the big televised. Here's a guy walking up to pick up the thing and give a speech. Most of them are going to be off to the side, where they just hand someone a thing or just read out who won.
Yeah.
Right before an
Um,
ad break or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the I feel like best game direction being the exact same games as game of the year is kind of funny.
Oh, is it? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that. I mean, I understand maybe the ideal version, the platonic ideal version of this category means that someone gets best game direction and a different game gets game of the year, I guess. So they can kind of
So
seem
what are
like their own
we-
categories, but it's a bit odd. Go ahead,
What-
Merson.
What are we thinking about when we're thinking about game direction?
Yeah,
What is the distinctive difference between this, the game of the year, and then game direction?
I
like-
guess I mean the only thing I can
This is interesting. Yeah.
yeah the only thing I can assume I bet if you're a judge you probably get emailed a much when you get sent the instructions about how to nominate games they probably give you a much better descriptor than they're giving us here on the
What we
website.
have. Yeah.
Awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. So I assume like better than less about the game of the year is like the sum of the whole. It's like, okay, how fun is it? How much do I enjoy it? Let's consider all of it together. Game direction to me seems more directly focused on the input from the developer, right? So if you were going to give it to Elden Ring, you would say, okay, well, I mean, let's consider the ways in which this game was led by the in whatever case who I guess I don't think Miyazaki direct Elden Ring, did he? I actually don't remember.
From my memory, he's working on the new one. So I have no clue. I don't know if he had a hand in this.
I don't remember if he did Shadow of the Erd Tree or not, but let's just say for sake of example, they're like, okay, the input that the leadership team has on the final product, I guess, is what they're trying to evaluate here. How you would feel that out? I mean, because it's not like film direction where there's kind of a very clear role that we understand the director plays, right? It's like, okay, he's the guy sitting there. He's yelling action. He's yelling cut. He's giving the actors notes on how to improve their performance. I suppose, to be honest, they could probably be doing the same thing for this. But it's like, I guess just overall
like
management.
Almost like from an...
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the best a guess I can. I mean, so it functions the same way as like best director at the at the Academy Awards. It's just the video game version. And I suppose like I understand wanting to award the work of a team, trying to draw attention to the developers themselves for something like this. But it's just kind of funny that the way that they present it is it's the exact same games as Game of the Year. And they don't even like highlight the team. It's just the name of the game again. It's not like, okay, best game direction goes to, and then the big picture is like, Team Asobi or something. And then underneath it says Astrobot. It's the other way around. It just says Astrobot again.
Yeah, that's what led me to believe that it's like Game of the Year is like, it's like you said, like holistically, like what game did I have the most fun playing and what game had the most impact on me personally? What did I enjoy the most?
And the fact that Balatro is even there basically confirms that, I think.
And then game direction is like what game brings the best, like, I don't know, something unique to the games industry that
almost like
we aren't seeing all the time anymore,
like
right?
does it achieve what it's going for, basically? Like does it hit its vision?
And it's like it kind of reads to me in that way that like when I see those two categories with the exact same options, I'm like, damn. So in my head, and this is just me, y'all tell me how y'all feel. It's like I feel that Black Myth Wukong to win best game direction.
That's what I was thinking too, because it's visually something that is new to like gaming in general. We don't see like, I mean, like we have had Journey to the West games before. Like, don't get me wrong. Like we've had different renditions of Journey to the West. Like one of the greatest games of all time, Enslaved, Odyssey to the West.
Yeah.
But like visually, this presentation of the story and everything is like so unique that I feel like that warrants it. And the execution is awesome too, honestly.
Yeah.
Because we don't often get like these like extremely fantastical games where it gives like almost like a Spirited Away vibe.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But so I mean, and then there's a bunch of like nonsense categories, but let's like that's kind of dismissive. What I mean by that is like
true, they are nonsense.
Right. But why?
But why do we even? I mean, I don't even know why we have.
What is sports and racing?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know why we have genre categories anymore for these things. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, let's start with Game of the Year. So, because this is the most interesting one to talk about. For those who don't know, which is no one, Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor Refuntatio. This obviously drew a lot of attention online for basically two reasons. One, all of the normies who don't pay attention to what, I guess, games are interesting out there didn't even know what Balatro was. I saw a lot of people going, what the fuck is Balatro?
Really? That's crazy.
Which is really funny. So I feel like Balatro is like one of those things that's like, if you talk to a lot of people or you read a lot of journalism about video games, if you're plugged into the scene, people were talking about Balatro. If you're just a guy who buys like 3 games and plays them and occasionally checks in on what's happening or looks at Game of the Year nominees, you're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck even is that? So that was something. The next one was, and this is what Merced and I were going to talk about.
Yeah.
Why is a DLC nominated for Game of the Year? This is a joke. They're just shilling for Miyazaki. They're shilling for From Software.
And before we move forward, I just want to make sure I'm correct on this. Cyberpunk's DLC did not get nominated for deals or a Game of the Year. It got like
no
best ongoing game.
Yeah, it was, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
So, it was pretty funny because we knew that this was going to happen before they announced the nominees, because they came out like 2 or 3 days ahead of time and said, just so you guys know, DLCs can be nominated. If we think they're good enough, then they will make it. I think that's fine. I actually don't have a problem with that at all. I think anything playable, a Flash game could be nominated for Game of the Year. I mean, I do not give a fuck. These there's nothing sanctimonious about these awards, in my opinion. So just give it to a game. Any game. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be a fucking game inside of a game. You could give it to a mini game. If the hacking mini game in Mass Effect 9 whatever is good enough, give that Game of the Year. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. If Fortnite Lego would have taken over the world and we're all playing Fortnite Lego this year, then yeah, fuck it. I don't give a shit. Like,
I mean, and
whatever. Like,
so I mean that's like legitimately such a non-issue to me, but people are mad. People are really mad about it.
It's one of those things where I think people are really mad are just a loud group of people, and most people that play video games probably don't actually care, especially, let's say, most people that are coming up with this list have played these games more than likely. Like maybe they haven't played 1 or 2.
Yeah.
They've probably played most of these. And I think all those people that are that group that play fucking video games really don't give a shit. And that's the people that are here that really care and that matter, I guess, right? So
what do we think wins? This is like a really hard category, I think, actually.
Well, while y'all are mulling on about that, I will preface this by saying I don't give a shit that Elden Ring
Merced's here and has a different opinion. What a shock.
I do not think I don't give a fuck that Shadow of the Erdtree is up here for contention for the Game of the Year. I don't care. I care about definitions, and I think definitionally it should probably not be up here. Like, not in competition with all these other games. Mainly because first of all, definitionally it is packaged with the other game. You cannot buy it standalone to play. So Shadow of the Erdtree is not its own standalone game. It is Elden Ring. And Elden Ring has already been put up for Game of the Year and has already won Game of the Year. I don't think that it should be up for contention whatsoever. I think that that's why we need to have like these distinctions being made, because now what you have is you have people who are putting up games like Black Myth Wukong, which wholesale has been made from the ground up by this dev team. And then you also have people like FromSoft who have essentially created a game where the scaffolding has already been created for them, by them, right? So like realistically, if we're thinking about the effort of the dev teams, like back to back, you have a greater amount of effort put in for Black Myth Wukong than you have for Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, just in terms of the architecture of the game design and everything like that. And I think that that is probably something that's valuable to developers. At the end of the day, I don't really give a shit. I just think I'm just thinking more so definitionally. There are reasons why we think of these things as DLC and also as like its own standalone game.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I see about this argument is that you do have to get very far into Elden Ring before you can even play this. So it's kind of one of those things that by default, the people who are playing this are probably people who really like Elden Ring. I mean, it is a great game, so you kind of can't use that as a detraction. I mean, it's like, it is what it is. I mean, a lot of people played this because a lot of people played and liked Elden Ring. So that's probably part of the reason why it's even in consideration, right?
If I had to guess, Because honestly, Merced, I kind of agree with you. If it can't be accessed like on its own, like to what Chandler's touching on now, you have to like kind of do a lot to be able to play this. Even if Elden Ring was suddenly made free, you have to like do a good bit of Elden Ring to get to Shadow of the Erdtree.
Yeah.
So it's a very fair point, honestly.
I think
I just sort of align with that. I just don't really care.
Here's something that is kind of interesting. I
bet they just got a bunch of votes for it and had to.
Yeah, I mean, which is fair. I think if you're the governing body of this, you know,
it's their game show.
But yeah, it's their game show. But more importantly, if you're the governing body of this, let's say this is what happened. This is why they put the statement out. It's exactly that. They were like, oh well, maybe we'll have to worry about that, but we'll worry about that if that happens. They started getting a bunch of votes in from judges or questions from judges saying, hey, is this allowed? Can we do this? You know, whatever. What does it look like if you're just like, no? I mean, I don't even think that should work that way. I mean, if enough people think this deserves to be game of the year, then it is game of the. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's, you know what I mean? Like in the context of this award show, I will say, here's the thing that's interesting to me. I understand the separate product kind of distinction. Like, okay, yeah, you can't just buy Shadow of the Erdtree. You also have to have Elden Ring, and it's inside Elden Ring. The way that this exists, there's nothing really preventing it. It could have been its own game. It's long enough to be its own game. It's a separate world. It's a separate landmass. It doesn't even integrate into the main world. You know what I mean? What's interesting to me is the only reason it had to be inside of Elden Ring is because the way From Software builds their worlds and builds their secrets, they just like doing shit that way. They wanted it to be that egg inside of Moog's boss arena. They've been laying the groundwork for that. They easily could have just made this as an expansion pack game. You know what I mean? A separate little, here's $30 and you can load up a Shadow of the Erdtree executable and just import your save or something like that. I mean, they really could have done that.
Honestly, the more I think about it, if it's all like free reign in terms of the voting, like, you know, Keely's not there being like, yeah, guys, y'all can vote for DLC, by the way. It's just like, you know, everybody's kind of getting to do what they want. And that many people, regardless if they had already had and played and owned Elden Ring or they had just bought it when the DLC came out, if that many people are like, damn, I want to nominate this over Balatro, over Astrobot, over Black Myth, over Final Fantasy, over Metaphor, if that many people are like, regardless if I already owned this and paid for it then or bought it today just for the DLC or whatever, I want to nominate this. I mean, fuck, dude, that's democracy, right? Like, they have the right to fucking vote for this fucking DLC, I guess, if they want to, right?
I mean, they can, but then that just the main thing is that I'm just going to keep bringing up over and over again that, like, definitionally, this strikes me in a very strange way because, like, like intrinsically, we have an understanding that this is not its own game. Like even though it could have been, and they could have sold it as a separate package game, and they could have sold it as like this expansion side by side with it that doesn't actually need the original game in order to run. They could have done that, but they didn't, and they decided to make it something where you have to own the original product, and it is tied intrinsically with the DLC, and is also story wise directly connected to Elden Ring as well. I mean, it exists within itself. Right?
I mean, story-wise doesn't matter at all. That's like saying a sequel to a game can't be fucking game of the year. I mean,
right, but I think it's like the sum of all of its parts, right? More than like any one singular aspect. I think that there's like so many things where it's just like clearly like these two are of the same body.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, Silent Hill 2 didn't get nominated, but I mean, you know, these, I feel like these arguments could also occur over remakes and remasters, right? It's like, okay, where do you draw the line in terms of what, you know, what is a unique game? Like if you're really going to start placing things into strict categories, it's like what constitutes different enough? Because Silent Hill 2, I mean, gameplay wise is different, but everything else is, you know, the same game, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's up there for best narrative, which is pretty.
Yeah, the story is the exact same. I mean, they made I think a couple of changes according to what I've heard, but Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
but I think that's the thing is that like definitionally we do have an understanding that like DLC is something that you would pay to unlock after purchasing of the original game, and then a standalone game is in and of itself the entire package that the devs have deemed exactly what they want to release for this base price, right? And so like definitionally, Shadow of the Erdtroopers wouldn't satisfy that, and therefore should
I don't know. I don't know what it is about
be up for DLC of the year or whatever.
Sure.
Instead.
Yeah, I mean, do they not have a DLC of the year or expansion of the year category?
I guess that they're just doing ongoing.
Oh yeah, best ongoing. Yeah, that's fair.
I guess that's what they're doing, but
that's fair. But what's funny?
But then Elden Ring would be up, right?
It's funny that they put Helldivers 2 in best ongoing though, because it also came out this year. So. I
guess ongoing is
just like games as a service exclusively. Yeah. So I don't know.
But last year, that's where Cyberpunk was. I don't know. I guess they're pivoting. As long as they're consistent moving forward, I guess whatever. Like you said, Merced kind of setting the definition, even if it says game of the year, but we understand moving forward that DLCs are in that category now and
are considered their own standalone.
And by the way, I mean the year that
doesn't make sense to me, but
the year that The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine came out, to me, that could have been game of the year. That was one of the best things I've ever played in a video game form. And I mean, it was a DLC, so the fact that, that wasn't something that got considered back then. Cyberpunk maybe, also, I mean, yeah.
And maybe like, this is the turning point of that question coming up repeatedly. Like maybe people have tried to nominate
I think so.
expansions multiple times in the past. And maybe last year with Cyberpunk, or was that 2 years ago? I don't even fucking know. Whenever Cyberpunk happened, maybe that was a big talking point internally, and now it was again, and now there's like, fuck it.
Yeah, when was that actually?
Actually,
was that
Cyberpunk, it was last year, but you're probably totally right that Phantom Liberty was probably brought up last year, and
I'm sure
probably
it was.
had to heavily think about like these types of things. And there's precedence for this as well, just with other award shows. Like I believe like the Oscars and other like cinema award shows have really strict definitions and things that they allow based on a certain realm of criteria that they've set in place for all of these different awards. And it's just like, I mean, if the Game Awards just want to do that, then like, of course, like, I don't give a fuck. In my mind, it just doesn't match my definition in my head. So I'm just like, this doesn't seem to make all that much sense to me. And it also comes off as a little bit of ball licking for FromSoft. So, but
yeah, I mean, I guess I don't really know. So this is the problem, not the problem. I mean, the games industry is just different than other industries, but this is so like the Oscars is run by the Academy of Motion Pictures, Arts and Sciences, or whatever the fuck it is. It's an organization. It's independent.
Is it it's like a republic or something of people who have been put up?
It's I mean, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's an academy, but it's like a board, a totally independent thing that is, serves kind of the unions, it'd be like if the ESRB did our awards, like if the ESRB was the game awards thing or whatever, something like that, I guess. So it's kind of by default they're beholden to the industry in a very direct way. I think Jeff Keighley is trying to do that with the game awards, but it feels too...
I would say so, right?
It still feels like too advertiser focused, like a bit too tied into the industry in very like ways that kind of make it lose validity, right? I mean, everybody jokes that the only reason he flies Hideo Kojima out every year so Kojima can meet celebrities to scan, like shit like that. Like it is kind of, it's
self-serving in a way.
It is a bit self-serving. So, for them to be considered like the preeminent body for video game of the year and draw this much discourse is a bit silly on its own. But yeah,
that's basically why I'm saying, like, at the end of the day, I don't really give a fuck as long as this guy just tells me like what the definitions are. Otherwise, like if there are no strict definitions, then I'm going to be like, I don't think those should probably be up there.
I mean, they should have, instead of these like single line descriptions of what each category is, they should give you access to what the judges have to see in terms of descriptions about who to vote for or whatever. Like, it doesn't even need to be on this page. Put it at the bottom. Hey, here's how our voting process works, that kind of thing. I mean, I think they have a
that'd be a good idea.
They do have a like they list the advisory board. They list, I think, all of the, I'm pretty sure I've seen this, all of the jurors. Yeah. So they have the jury. You can click and look at every outlet that is able to nominate, and scroll through them all.
Okay.
I think it's really funny, by the way, that you start scrolling down and it's all these like publications, and you get like down, like, I don't know, third row down, and it's just the Jeff Gerstmann show.
Fuck yeah. I was literally just about to say it's like Jeff Gerstmann's grandma.
Yeah. It's just so funny. And by the way, Nextlander is not included, which I think is kind of wrong, because Giant Bomb is still on there despite, complete staff
Dissolution.
change, turnover and all this stuff. But I mean, I by the way, I mean, all the people who work at Giant Bomb now are perfectly fine people. They seem smart enough, talented enough.
Anyway.
I'm
sure they would be able to if they just like reached out, right?
I think that's kind of the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, and obviously they also do a very like multinational group. So, it's not just Western, like US, UK, it's organizations from all over the world. There's even some in China that participate, which I think is really cool. So I do think that they have a good split here, and I could see exactly what we're talking about. The argument is, hey, enough people from different organizations said we think Shadow of the Erd Tree is the best thing we played this year. That's it. And you know what? They could be right.
I mean, it was really fucking good.
I mean, it's good. It's good.
That was insanely impressive.
It was good. So
it turned Merced into an Elden Ring believer.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And to be fair, he was already an Elden Ring believer. He just likes to be mad.
That's just not even true. The original game is still ass in comparison to the rest of the projects.
He's so
and we all know this intrinsically, actually.
He's
I
so
feel like
performative.
nobody would put up Elden Ring as their favorite FromSoft game. Nobody's going to do that.
It's almost the same game. That's what's insane.
Game direction is better. Game direction is a million times better.
So, now he suddenly knows what game direction is. So game of the year, who do we think? Let's put a
out
vote.
Of all of these,
let's put a bet out there. Yeah.
Are we talking about who's going to get it or who we want to get it?
Just say both.
Let's do both. Who we want and then who we think. I can go first.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I want Rebirth to get it because I'm a fucking cuck.
Yeah. We know.
I think this is probably one of the toughest ones. If like, I feel like this is like the culmination of like a lot of things in the past like 5 years or so. Like when Hades either didn't even get nominated or didn't win, but it got like the indie game of the year. Now there's like not even an indie game of the year, right? And it's just fucking Balatro is up here. It's just in it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh shit, does that mean Balatro can actually take it? Like, this is a popular ass fucking game. Fuck all the normies that don't know what it is. Like, this game's popular as shit, right? And then Astrobot, I think no chance. Black Myth, I think no chance. Metaphor, I think no chance. So then it's like Balatro, Elden Ring, Rebirth. I don't know, dude. I think maybe Elden Ring might take it, unfortunately.
I think Astrobot has a higher chance than you might believe, just because the intense amount of praise that I've heard about that fucking game.
I do agree.
I haven't
with
played
that.
it yet.
Yeah.
But dude, like people who play that game are like pogged the fuck out of their minds over that game.
Yeah. And this is like really in the industry voting, so you might be right.
That's what I'm thinking. That's how I'm thinking of this.
Yeah, you might be right. That would be crazy.
I haven't played Rebirth yet. That's also one that people are going insane about. Did Remake or Integrate, or was that put up for anything last year? Or what?
Last year? No.
Okay. I don't last year, no, but the year it came out, I'm pretty
the year it
sure.
came out
Yeah,
for sure.
I think they don't count PC ports as separate releases.
Okay.
Because Remake Integrate has been out for a while on console, right?
Yeah.
So I think the PC port didn't get anything, but Integrate did get, or Final Fantasy VII Remake was one of the nominations for Game of the Year it came out. What year was that? Crossley,
2022, right?
No, I think it was pre-COVID
20 or 21. Oh, really?
That was that long ago. Holy
It might be
shit.
pre-COVID. I can't remember now.
No. Sorry, 2020.
Yeah.
So
wow, that was a long ass time ago. Jesus.
Yeah, 2020, and it was nominated for Game of the Year that year. Integrate came out in 2021. Oh yeah, which is when the PC port also came out. So
what was it against when it was nominated?
2020 Game of the Year nominees were Last of Us Part 2, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, and Hades. So Hades did not win against that.
No, it got Indie Game of the Year.
Yeah, Last of Us Part 2 won.
Wins. Fuck
yeah, of course.
Good.
And
poor Ghost of Tsushima, bro. It didn't deserve to come out the same year as that.
Sucker Punch releases a diamond right next to fucking Naughty Dog.
You know who got interestingly enough, best game direction that year went to Ghost of Tsushima.
Sounds exactly right. Yeah.
Wait, is that right? Hold on, let me confirm.
That's crazy though.
That would sound perfect to me.
Wait. No. I'm sorry. It won Player's Voice Game of the Year. That's what it is. So Player's Voice, Ghost of Tsushima, best game direction was Naughty Dog.
I was about to say, dude, there's no shot.
I have seen that not the same game that gets Game of the Year doesn't always get.
I think that's fair. Like, genuinely, I think Wukong should get it for best game direction.
It's either Wukong or Balatro. Because Balatro also...
I bet Balatro...
it gave us the most unique thing that we've seen in like a long time.
I
feel like really good.
If we're counting like best game direction kind of parallel to best game design, then sure. But I don't see those as like the same thing. I think Balatro's design is like immaculate.
In my mind, I'm thinking of game direction as like, what have you provided to the industry? And this is something we have not seen. You know what I'm saying? So... that's why I think it's either I think it's either Black Myth or Balatro. It's like Final Fantasy Rebirth cannot win best game direction because it's literally another fucking Final Fantasy game. Like,
well, it's also, I mean, I think a lot of people are kind of a bit tired of the open world thing. So, but so last year, Baldur's Gate 3 got Game of the Year and Player's Voice, which is interesting. I don't think that usually happens. I don't think it's happened even once.
Wait, say it again.
Baldur's Gate 3 got Game of the Year from the critics, and it also got the Player's Voice award for Game of the Year. I mean, yeah, everybody sums for that game. What's interesting is game direction though went to Remedy for Alan Wake 2. So
interesting.
So yeah, which I could see. That's a game that like wins. I mean, for sure, game direction like that game feels. But here's what's interesting. 2022. The world is truly fucked. 2022 Elden Ring Game of the Year, Player's Voice. Guess what it was? Just guess. Throw out a game. You're not going to get this.
2022.
Don't give me options.
Okay.
Multiple choice.
Okay. Splatoon 3, Valorant,
Stray.
That's a good guess, but no.
Fuck.
Let's see. Hold on. Sorry. What was I saying? Okay.
Splatoon 3, Valorant.
Splatoon 3, Valorant, God of War Ragnarok, Tears of the Kingdom, Bayonetta 3, Elden Ring. Yeah, pick from one of those.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, sorry. And what's that? What else came out that year? Genshin Impact.
Valorant. I was just picking the one I'd be most disappointed in.
It was Genshin Impact.
Oh.
Yeah.
I blame you
Yes.
for adding it.
I fucked that up. I fucked that up for sure. Only because like I was reading through the list of all of
That's
the
weird as fuck, for sure. Like,
yeah.
what the fuck?
I don't know. People love Genshin Impact.
Why
Yeah.
2022?
I guess that was the year it fully released.
It came out in 2022. Yeah, that's not right.
Or yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so there you go. And by the way, not a game. Genshin Impact, not a game. I'm staking my claim here. Not a game.
Dude.
Just
Literally
something.
just gotcha. It's just gotcha Breath of the Wild.
It's
That's all it
gotcha
is.
edging edition. I mean, that's all it is. So yeah, but so anyway, I kind of back to our guess, I guess. I'm gonna say that the only one I would kind of be disappointed in winning would be Black Myth Wukong for Game of the Year, only because I think it is, of all of those games, the one I enjoy the least, even though it's still really good. I do think that I think I want Metaphor to get it, but I don't think it will. I think Metaphor is the least likely of all of these games in a weird way. I could see Elden Ring. I think Elden Ring is going to get it.
I think it's Elden Ring.
I think Elden Ring. Not even unfortunately, because it's a great game.
The fact that it's in there
it.
at all, I think means that
I
it's
think
definitely
so.
gonna get it.
I think so. Yeah, it's like by being in there, they're giving it to that. Yeah, I think that's true.
That being said, this
I
is
probably
like
agree
the
with you,
most
though.
interesting and diverse Game of the Year list that I can think of, like ever. Astrobot, Balatro,
A platformer,
a DLC,
a roguelike,
Metaphor.
Yeah,
Of course,
a
Final Fantasy,
JRPG.
like,
it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I'd like to see. Now, here's where things get interesting. In best game direction, I could see Metaphor being up there. It's really strong. The way the mechanics are, it's a bit different than the Persona games. It's got a very like clear creative vision, and they nailed it. I mean, it is the best Atlas game. It is the best
I think
Atlas
all
game.
of these are pretty fair for game direction. Honestly,
Yeah,
it's hard to say who
yep.
I think. Yeah, it's really tough. I think I wanted to go to Wukong. Even if I never finished that game ever, there's still something about it that like I appreciate and respect. And it might not be my game of the year, but I definitely think it deserves something like this.
Wukong's cool. Wukong's cool.
Yeah.
I think that there are some things mechanically about that detract from it being the winner here. Like every other game to me, every other game on this list. I mean, Rebirth I haven't finished, but you know, for the people who do like that, I could see it getting best direction. But so Rebirth notwithstanding, every other game on this list is like mechanically the peak of their series, genre, whatever you want to say. I mean, Balatro is basically perfect. I mean, in terms of game design, it doesn't seem to really get better than that. Astrobot, basically perfect. I mean, it's you know, if you like that kind of thing, it's one of the best platformers that could exist. Metaphor, definitely by a lot the best JRPG from Atlas, in my opinion. Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, probably on par with or slightly better than the main game, right? So I mean, it's definitely, it's interesting. I feel like Black Myth doesn't quite hit that, like artistically.
I see what you're saying.
Artistically, it has a story, it has a vision. It does really nail a specific mood, time period, feeling. You know, it's such an interesting game.
So basically,
mechanically,
we need a third category right under this one.
Yeah.
That's best game design.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
and then
I mean,
we can give direction to Wukong and design to one of these other fuckers.
Because I totally agree with you, Chandler. The moment that you said Metaphor, and then I shook my head because I was like, no, there's no way unless you think contextually where it exists in its own genre. Because if you think about where it exists in its own genre, the gameplay is better. by far
Yeah.
than anything
Right.
else that we can think of. But
Right.
but then if I'm going to shake my head at that, I have to shake my head at Black Myth Wukong because it doesn't even do its own genre the best out of it, all of the
No.
types of third person boss fighting games, right?
Yeah.
So like aesthetically though, Black Myth Wukong is incredibly unique. But I think now I think I'd have to agree that probably.
And there is a best art direction, so I guess Wukong can take that, right? Oh, but Metaphor's there too.
But I was literally just about to say. I was literally
yeah.
just about to say that, just based off of aesthetics alone, which Metaphor is completely unique. And like, there's nothing that looks like Metaphor,
dude. It's insane.
There's no designs that look like an Atlas design.
No.
So I mean, like, just in terms of like, a unique video game, something that brings forth like, hey, like we're going to push the envelope a little bit here, even if it's just a little bit. Metaphor does do that.
Here's
like,
the thing I will say is that no matter what, Wukong will get players' voice. No matter what.
Yeah, well, that's because of the
You
Chinese.
think so?
I mean, yeah, 100%. Like, I mean, sure, you could say it's
So
because
that's
of
voted by us, right? The general population.
100% voted by. I do think that there are enough people. First of all, there are people in the West who are hard shooters for this game. I mean,
I think it goes to Balatro or Elden Ring for player's choice.
I could see Balatro. I think Elden Ring is unlikely. Elden Ring didn't even get it in the year that it got Game of the Year. So, for player's choice.
We got it in that year.
Genshin Impact. Oh, so wait, could it be anything?
was
Not
Genshin
something
Impact.
from this list?
Yeah, it could be anything.
Oh,
Although, actually, let's see though if they were if it was even nominated for Game of the Year that year. But I don't think it was.
If it could be anything.
Yeah, it can be anything.
It honestly just still kind of blows my mind that it was Genshin Impact.
I know.
But
It's so funny. I think it'll be Black Myth Wukong. I really do.
if it could be anything,
I'm 100%. It's going to be Black Myth Wukong.
Yeah, I
there's
agree.
A chance. I don't think
That's
anything
crazy.
can touch it. Not to say that it's not a bad game. I only say Chinese because there's going to be a lot of fucking Chinese people.
Oh, there is a best
Yeah.
indie game. I didn't
There
realize
is, there
was
is.
best indie game.
So let's just.
Well, Balatro. Oh, sorry.
Oh no! Go ahead.
What's Lorelei and the Laser Eyes?
Oh my god, dude! How many
a really good
times
game.
do I have to have this conversation with people? It's a good game, though.
What is UFO 50?
Oh
They're
no!
just making this shit up,
UFO
bro.
50 is really good too,
Crossley-
dude. No,
Crossley
you're
doesn't-
under a rock, bro.
He doesn't play indie
Yeah,
games.
I
Crossley
know.
doesn't play indie games.
UFO 50 hits so fucking hard. You would probably really like it.
I know what Neva is.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Oh, that's the pro tag
Yeah.
with the wolf, right? 2D
Yeah.
side scroll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just run through some of these really quick. We'll get to indie game. Best narrative, metaphor. I want to win. I think it could.
Rebirth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not Hellblade 2.
No, there's pretty much no way. I don't even know how it's on here.
I would be that person who voted for Hellblade 2, and if I'm not even going to vote for it, then that game's fucking cooked.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, yeah, we got it nominated. Let's vote for something else.
Yeah.
I guess it would be Rebirth, huh?
I mean, yeah, it would have to either be Rebirth or Metaphor, in my opinion. I mean, it could be Silent Hill.
It's probably
If it's fucking Silent Hill, dude, I'm gonna.
It's probably Metaphor.
Yeah.
Metaphor, in all actuality, if you have taste, Rebirth is going to be the second runner-up. Silent Hill 2 would just be hilarious. That would just be really, really funny.
I mean, Silent Hill 2 is in the nominees, so enough people clearly thought it deserved to be in there.
Yeah.
As far as
I mean,
I have played it, it is absolutely amazing. But I mean, it already came out. It's the same story. The story's not even different. They didn't change anything about it. So,
we already
It's an awesome
kind
game.
of we already kind of did art direction, but again, I want Metaphor to win. I think Metaphor deserves to win. I could
it's
see
impressive.
Wukong winning. I think it is one of the most beautiful games visually and style wise
It is stunning.
that came out this year. So I totally get if that won. I would not be mad at all.
Yeah.
Music, I could see this going to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth for sure, and I would happily accept that. I think Metaphor is amazing. I listen to Metaphor's soundtrack
Honestly,
all the
music
time.
I've been playing it these past few days, Chandler, and every time I boot it up and I'm on that main
Yeah, dude.
menu, I'm just like, I could hang out here for a few minutes.
Yeah, somebody needs to do like a one of those deep fried versions of that where it's like all blown out. I think that would be amazing. Yeah, I think
They had
Jennifer like hums metaphor music because I was playing it on the TV and she was like doing other things in the area, and so she'll hear it. She thinks of it all the time. It's so good. It's so unbelievably good. What's that?
They got the sound design people from Persona 4 and 5, right? For
same team.
Metaphor?
Yeah, same team. Yeah. Same main composer. He even said there's like an interview out there with him where he was like, I didn't intend for the soundtrack to go this hard. Like literally he accidentally made the best soundtrack he's ever made. It's so sick. I mean, I am a huge Persona soundtrack person. This is by far the best soundtrack. So almost fun. When I'm listening to it on my phone, there's like a few skips at most in a 60 track soundtrack. I mean, it's fucking it's crazy. Astrobot also has really good music, honestly. I think it's a little bit twee, but I could see people giving it to that, but I really think it's probably going to be Final Fantasy. So
Silent Hill 2's music is also incredibly good.
I'm sure it is. I haven't heard any, but I would like to. I'm going to play that once I finish Stalker 2 or Dragon Age. I'm gonna do that.
It's like strikingly good whenever you're playing it. It's
sorry. Go ahead.
No, I mean that's about it. It's very good.
It's interesting to see Stellar Blade here. I haven't heard that its music is like stand out, but I mean, it's here.
I have to wait for that game to come out on PC so Jennifer cannot witness me playing it. I mean, that's basically as far as I can. I mean, it just she's gonna look at
like a privacy screen. So she's not like right behind you.
Yeah, on the TV. No, I mean, like I really. I just don't want to field the questions that would be asked by her witnessing what that character looks like.
Just put on the Nier Automata skins. It will be so much better.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Why is she a maid? Let's see. Audio design, kind of a weird mix of
I think it's a fair category.
Nominees here. I could actually see Hellblade 2 getting this, weirdly. I mean, like, they do audio design kind of better than anybody. Like with the whispering,
same as the first one.
Yeah. Silent Hill 2 is probably pretty good. I don't think Rebirth would get this, honestly.
It's the only one I've played on this list, so it gets my vote by default. But I just from what I've heard about Hellblade 2, I think it probably kind of did the coolest stuff that I know of.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I could also see Astrobot getting it. I mean, that wouldn't surprise me. Black Ops 6, at first glance, is kind of a weird pick, but then I think about playing that game and how good, like, they really did nail the audio in that. It's almost, there's like a horror game tucked in there. It's pretty interesting. More people should play Black Ops 6. I don't really have a strong opinion about performance, so I kind of want to skip it, but I feel like I'm sure the Hellblade 2 actress Melina Juergens deserves this. I kind of feel like Brianna White would get it because correct me if I'm wrong, but Brianna White is the is Aerith, right?
Aerith, yeah.
Yeah, based on what I don't know a lot about how that story wraps up, but based on what I know about this, what section of original Final Fantasy this kind of covers, I feel like it could make sense for that to be a big showcase for Aerith.
There's so many good performances in this chunk of the game. It's pretty wild, but yeah, that is Aerith. Again, this is the only game I've played on this list, so it gets my vote by default, and I don't really have much of an opinion, sadly.
Yeah,
on the others.
Best ongoing.
Wait,
again,
did you skip a few?
I did. Yeah, I don't want to go through all of them. Best ongoing. Helldivers 2 is a weird pick, as we said. So I kind of, if it's in here, maybe it's just going to go to that, to be honest. But that would be a weird one.
So, it's odd to me because if we're talking about how the developers have handled the game over time as best ongoing, then I would be like, they haven't done like a phenomenal job. But in terms of like the best multiplayer game this year, it's literally Helldivers 2.
Yeah.
So I'll just pick Helldivers 2 just because it's the
Is
best.
there not a category like that? Oh, there is, and it's there.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. They I don't know what everyone was thinking with this one, but Helldivers 2, Fortnite, Final Fantasy 14,
Fortnite wins, I think.
Diablo 4, Destiny 2. I think I agree. Yeah, I think
It's
Fortnite does
or
win.
Helldivers, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
But I truly think Fortnite is just Epic is doing a retardedly good job of that game.
I
agree with that. The only reason I think it would be Helldivers is because it's here. And I wouldn't expect it to be here, but it is here. So maybe a bunch of people that played Helldivers all year voted for it. And it's like, yeah, we played this game all year. It didn't burn out as soon as it came out.
yeah, I mean, I have heard that Diablo 4 has really turned the corner with the expansion. Like, people seem to be really enjoying it, but
For sure.
I don't think we need to do community support. Okay, let's do best independent. Best independent. What is gonna get it? I actually think UFO 50 or Animal Well are the most likely.
Animal Well? No, bro.
I mean, a lot of people like Animal Well. I'm not one of them, but a lot of people.
Name one person.
I don't know anyone who's played Animal Well that
Yeah,
liked it.
name a single actual human being that you know that plays
They
video
don't
games.
exist.
That
They're
likes
all
that game.
donkey sycophants. That's what they are.
I mean, I don't
Yeah.
think
They're
so.
donkey ball lickers. They are. It's
I
true.
don't know.
I
I mean,
seriously don't know a single person that likes that game that plays video games.
Animal Well would not be on this list if Donkey's name was not attached to this game. It doesn't.
I don't think that's. I think you guys are missing this. I mean, most games journalists are not Donkey fans.
My eyes are wide open.
Like, you're telling
I'm
me
unclouded as fuck.
you're telling me that you hold on. You're telling me that, like, folks at IGN are Donkey fans? I just
Yes.
don't. I just don't believe it.
Actually,
I'm sorry.
hell yes, because the people at IGN are retarded. So yeah,
Oh god,
for sure.
I think you guys are taking a very weird approach to this. Players, if there was a player's choice version of this, absolutely, I agree that, like, Donkey stands. You know,
I'm looking at
but-
UFO 50 right now. It's definitely not going to this.
Crossley. God damn it. I mean, it could be Balatro just by the fact that it's the one that the most people have played and enjoyed on this list. But to me, it is the less interesting. I mean, the story of how it was created is fascinating, I think. But I feel like there's more things about all these other games, except for Neva. I mean, I don't know. I haven't played Neva, so I can't really pass a judgment on it. But to me, it doesn't seem that
It's
interesting.
going to Balatro.
Yeah, maybe so. A lot of people really like UFO 50. I mean, it is like, that's what I mean. Is like UFO 50 is the game's journalist darling.
People
Animal
love UFO 50.
Animal Well is as well. Honestly, I mean, a lot of reviewers gave it very high scores. Balatro certainly is. So, I mean, I would see any of those. Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, to me, seems the most appealing of all these games. But I haven't played it. I just don't think Balatro is good. I don't know. I don't want it to win things. Is that weird? I feel like I'm having
Balatro
to
or UFO 50.
I'm having to admit this. I don't want Balatro to win things. I don't know why.
That's interesting.
But and also it's why don't they just give it debut indie game and then there we go.
Why? What is the difference? Is UFO 50 and Lorelei not debut indie games? I don't understand.
Dude, no, Moss Mouth makes so many fucking games.
Oh, so it's like, I see. Their first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
the studio's first game.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that definitely goes to Balatro, right? There's like no debate.
By the way, you know UFO 50 is the same team that made Spelunky, so it's like, I mean, it's a lot, dude. There are Spelunky fucking shooters out there. But yes, so Balatro is gonna win debut. Balatro is gonna win debut, 100%. Zero chance it doesn't.
Overall, though, if you look at the creativity behind UFO 50, it should probably go to UFO 50.
I kind of think that. I do think that. For indie game, you mean?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's impressive. 50 little, like, old school games. Yeah, I think it's cool.
All with their own twists too.
Yeah.
They're not just like recreating the old games. Like, it's really, really awesome, actually.
Mobile game, Balatro, right? I mean, the Pokemon trading card game could, I guess, do it, but I feel like again, this is the Balatro category.
I don't know when they did these votes, but if it was after that Pokemon game came out, it wins.
You think so? All right. Okay.
Yeah. Period. Pokemon
Fair
does
enough.
numbers beyond anything else.
We're gonna skip VR and AR because I don't even know what that is. Yeah, never even heard of either of those things. What is VR? What is AR? I have no idea.
It goes.
I
to
really
Metro.
should play the new Metro game though.
Yeah.
It looks cool. Yeah,
That
it looks really
so
cool. I
fucking
do
sick.
want to play it. I bet it would be very scary though. Like, could you imagine having one of those spiders jump at your face in VR? That would be fucking
Oh
terrible.
yeah.
Action game. Black Myth Wukong, Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, Space Marine 2.
If I had to give it, I would give it to
Astrobot?
Helldivers 2.
Why is that true?
Wait, action game? What? I didn't say
Action
Astrobot,
game.
did I?
Action game.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Huh?
Oh, I'm looking
You're-
right under
you're
that. I'm
schizoing
sorry.
out,
no,
bro.
right under that it says best action adventure game. So I was like,
Grossing double.
Yeah.
why the fuck is Astrobot here? But I mean,
Uh,
it's still kind of weird there too. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean the category things are really stupid, but we'll just run through them really quick. I mean,
There's action in Astro.
there is. You punch things. Action game, yeah, Helldivers 2, maybe. Probably. I don't know.
Wukong.
Having
Out of-
not
out of these
played
options?
Stellar Blade, I would probably give it to Stellar Blade second, and then
Yeah,
Black Myth Wukong and Space Marine 2 tied. To be honest,
yeah, I kind of agree. They both are weak in similar ways to me, game feel and kind of exact
Yeah.
design things. But yeah, I think
Because Stellar Blade, a lot of
again.
people played that.
I think Black Ops 6 is really good. I don't know.
I haven't played Stellar Blade 2. It's just one of those things where it's like after watching or seeing so much of it and hearing the recession from people, it's like this game has to be like really fucking good.
Yeah.
It seems
So-
as fuck.
Action adventure. Okay, first of all, they should have a horror category. Am I wrong? I guess that's not like a game
Oh.
type, but I feel like they should. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Maybe they're
Silent
just
Hill
thinking
2's
like
in
not
there.
enough horror stuff comes out in a year.
That's so wrong. I mean, it would be basically another indie game category, but that's cool. They should
Yeah,
do
that's
that.
true.
Silent Hill 2, I guess, but it's probably Astrobot. I think Prince of Persia would be cool if that got it, even though I didn't play enough of it.
I need to play that.
Is there any shot it goes to Zelda?
0.
I've
Okay,
I've
no
heard
chance.
like for all of the Zelda games, it's not exactly like one of the strongest. So
I love
probably
how
not.
Dragon's Dogma 2 is an RPG.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Did
funny.
that come out this year?
It did, yeah, February.
Wow.
What
It'll
a
fully
year.
release next year.
Yeah, when the DLC comes out, and it gets nominated for Game of the Year. Elden Ring,
It better.
Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree, probably will win this category. I could see Rebirth also winning, which is unfortunate because I think Metaphor is better than both of those games.
Oh, wait, why
Metaphor
is Shadow of the
absolute-
Erd Tree under best action?
I don't know.
Fuck this fucking.
Yeah, these
This
people
is-
these people don't know what they're doing. Fighting game. I'm gonna let you guys talk this one out. I'm gonna sit quietly.
Tekken 8, absolutely. By far better than all these.
I don't even Sparking Zero being here is like an atrocity. I don't know why the fuck they do this. I have no clue why. I don't know why they do this at all. But
It's
they do this
genuinely
every
very
fucking
technical.
year.
It's genuinely a very technical game.
Is it? I would
Yes.
believe you if you said it.
Yes,
kind of.
I promise you. Like it's like intimidating how technical it is. Like you have to really. There's like parries for the parries and shit. Like it's crazy.
But okay. Here's the thing. Should we have Dragon Ball Sparking Zero up here, or should we have Rivals of Ether?
Don't know what that is, so I guess
Okay,
that answers
well.
the question, right?
All right.
Tekken 8 wins, though. I hope. Like
Yeah,
period.
Tekken 8 100% should win.
And if Tekken 8 loses to Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I'm gonna fucking kill somebody.
Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising seemed way too clunky to me. Multiverses was way better than I thought it was going to be, even though I don't fucking play it. But it was a lot better the time that I did spend playing it than I actually thought it was going to be. As close as we're going to be getting to what's it called?
Ash Clone, yeah.
So, But Rivals of Ether 2 is a Smash clone, essentially. Is what it is. And it came out a month ago, maybe less than a month ago. But it's fantastic and it's really, really fucking good. And
is it not fully released? Is that maybe why it's
maybe that's what it is, possibly. I'm actually kind of surprised looking at this
just fully released. Like, it came out years ago, but now it's finally fully released.
It could be, but I mean, regardless if it was up here or not, I would still think that Tekken 8 takes it. I think Tekken 8 is like the most solid and fun Tekken to come out in like a long time.
I was just thinking literally yesterday, Merced, that I kind of want to play it some more.
It feels really good to play.
I miss it. Yeah, I miss it.
I still have it downloaded. So, but yeah.
That's enough of that. That's your fighting game minute. All right, moving on. Best sim strategy. We're skipping some things.
That Princess Peach game came out for best family game.
Best sim strategy.
I can't believe
bro doesn't want to talk about Super Mario Party Jamboree, bro.
He hates fun, Merced.
He skipped over it. Crazy, dude.
Astrobot wins. Astrobot wins best family. Okay,
Did
moving
you
on.
skip over Best Sim Strategy where Unicorn Overlord absolutely decimates the competition? Where are we?
He doesn't fucking listen. Best Sim Strategy is what I said, and then you guys wanted to talk about fucking Princess Peach Showtime.
I'm sorry. I was talking about Jamboree. Okay, go on. I'm sorry.
Okay. Word. Yeah, I forget. So we got a Jamboree stan in the house, so he needs to mention it. Best sim strategy, Kunitsugami should win. Unicorn Overlord will win. There we go.
Yeah.
Unicorn Overlord should win. Kunitsugami is a fantastic game, though.
Yeah, it's honorable mention.
Kunitsugami, considerably better.
Unicorn.
We're skipping
They're both
sports.
so unique that I love them equally.
Best multiplayer, Helldivers 2 will win. And should win. There we go.
Yes, 100%.
Dude, if
I don't think
Black Ops wins, I'm going to freaking reverse nut, whatever that is.
Best adaptation, Fallout should win. Arcane will win.
Arcane wins and should win.
Arcane should win. Yeah. Sorry
I don't think so,
it, buddy.
I don't think so.
Watch it?
No, I do not engage with League of Legends on any level.
It's pretty damn good, dude.
Chandler, it was so good.
It was really Have you seen the first season? You've seen the first season.
No, I didn't watch any of it.
Oh, no.
I'm soy facing. Holy.
I do not care. You cannot even convince me. You cannot convince me that I should watch it. I'm serious.
I'll pay you money.
I know. I won't even accept money. I am immune.
I'll pay you money.
I am immune to watching it. I actually,
That's
you know what's funny? I think
crazy.
I think when it came out, when the first season came out, which it's already been a few years, right? When the first season came out, I watched like the first episode and was like, okay, I'm good. Yeah. I don't like it. I do not like it. I don't want to watch it.
That's a shocker.
So Fallout, I think, is legitimately good. I think it's well made. I think the first episode is okay, and then it only goes up from there. By the end of that show, I was fully on board. I mean, I think it's really good. So
it's got that one guy that's in all the Western movies, right? What's his name?
Walton Goggins. Yeah, he's so good.
He's phenomenal.
And he's, by the way,
Really good.
he's basically in a Western movie when he's in it. It's so funny. He's playing it as though he's in it.
Basically the main character too, almost. Not literally, but
you pretty much have three main characters, I guess. But yeah,
true.
It's cool.
Most anticipated.
GTA 6 will win. I think probably every other game on this list except Metroid Prime 4, which I just don't like Metroid Prime very much. So, but I think every other game on this list is more interesting to me than Grand Theft Auto 6. I think it goes
to Monster Hunter.
I don't think so. I
think it goes to Grand Theft Auto 6. I think it should go to Death Stranding.
Sure. I don't care. I think it should.
It's just true.
I think it should go. I think it should go to any game other than Grand Theft Auto 6. But I think it will go to Grand Theft Auto 6. I
100%.
really don't care.
No.
We're skipping content creator. I don't even know who these fucking people are.
We're skipping the rest of these then.
Yeah, that's probably true. I mean, best esports game.
They don't even
have the good ones on here.
Yeah, these aren't even fun. What the fuck is Mobile Legends Bang Bang? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, what is Mobile Legends Bang Bang? All right.
I have no clue.
Let's skip this.
This is all trash. All right, we did it. GG's.
Oh, player's
That is
voice.
That is it. And then player's voice. Oh, these are the games that you can vote for. Okay. Oh my god, what if Zinless Zone Zero gets it, dude?
No shot.
Pal World.
You can vote for Genshin Impact
Do it.
again?
It's a vote against Nintendo.
I'm not. Please, if you're my friend, you will not vote for Pal World.
I really like Power World,
It's
and
a
I
pretty
played it
good
this
game.
year.
Apparently round.
It came out this year.
Oh, they have multiple
I played
rounds.
it recently, I guess.
Oh, today's the last day to vote for round 2 of Player's Voice. So they have like fewer and fewer games in each round, I guess. So you have to vote by 11 p.m. tonight, my time, 8
you
p.m.
can put in
across
5 votes.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I will log in and vote for this just so I can make sure that none of these fucking Coomer games get into round 3. I mean, Genshin Impact does not belong here. Stellar Blade, sorry guys. I mean, it's a fine game. It doesn't belong here. Withering Waves, I don't even know what that is. Zenless Zone Zero is...
Why is Genshin Impact in here?
It's just a fetish game. It's just a fetish game. I don't understand.
Zenless Zone Zero is 100% a fetish game, though.
All right, that's it.
So... Well, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, dude.
Yeah. I somehow became like increasingly annoyed with the existence of this show over the course of doing this. Like I became...
What was your least favorite part?
Kind of all of it. I mean, I think after Game of the Year, I start to just realize like it's like Game of the Year, best game design, like the very pillar categories I like the idea of, and I'm interested in what they put in there. Once you start getting into genres and things like that, I'm like, oh yeah, none of this matters. Like, who even knows what, like, it's exactly right. It's like, what is action versus action adventure? I mean, who fucking cares?
I mean, they don't even have some of the genres that I feel like if you had genres, you would put them in, right? Like shooter.
Yeah.
There's no best shooter, which is wild considering there's like 1 million FPS boomer shooter games that came out this year.
Yeah, I feel like that is true actually. And
you had
I wonder if it's because they're trying to keep it family friendly, like not imply like gun violence. You know what I mean? They're just like
maybe I don't know, but I feel like Angerfoot should have showed up at some point in any of these lists as well.
Oh yeah, or like what's that one that like I Am Your Beast or whatever? People really liked that one. There's a couple others that came out this year that I think people were into. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Fucking Jeff Keighley.
It's okay.
Fucking Jeff Keighley, man.
I mean, it could be like an advertiser thing. I guess like a lot of these things are pretty advertiser friendly.
It's just okay. Let me just say the last thing. How is Black Myth Wukong an action game, but Elden Ring isn't? It makes me mad because then Elden Ring's going in the RPG category just to sweep that and take another award away from fucking Metaphor.
Well, everywhere that Metaphor can exist. Actually, no. Yeah, because you could have put Shadow of the Erd Tree in action and not put it in RPG. But I mean, at the same time, it is an RPG, right?
Yeah, I guess. But so is Black Myth Wukong.
Yeah, I guess that's
problem with democracy.
Actually, yeah, you're totally right. Actually, most of these categories should be the same fucking 5 games over and over again.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're telling me you do action in Black Myth Wukong, but not adventure?
Oh, true. Oh my god!
What about Elden Ring? What about Elden Ring?
My eyes are open.
Half the fucking pleasure of playing Elden Ring is the adventure. Oh god, I don't know, man. It just doesn't matter. None of it matters.
Oh, you need puzzle solving. Get fucked, kid. It literally says it at the top. Puzzle solving.
There are puzzles
in Elden Ring. Actually, there are puzzles There are
Yes!
in the smithing places where you have to pull the
Dude,
levers.
all of it.
Those are harder puzzles than in Silent Hill. I promise you.
I'm sure they are. There's puzzles everywhere in every From Software game. I mean, what the fuck are we doing here? Yeah.
I don't know if I'd call it really like puzzles, more like vagaries that you just kind of have to like schizophrenically piece together. But
Okay, sure. I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay.
I'm with you on the sentiment. I'm not sure if Space Marine 2 should have taken as many places as it did, as much as I would have liked for it to be better.
Yeah.
I just don't think it was that great.
You know what's sad? I think that Stalker 2 coming out after the cutoff is going to it's obviously
away.
It didn't make it in this one. It's probably not going to make it in next year's because everybody will have forgotten about it by then, most likely.
I agree.
I also think that Path of Exile 2, had it come out earlier, probably would have ended up in Best Ongoing. Based on what I'm seeing about that game, people seem really high on it.
Dude, it looks fucking amazing.
It'll probably be there next year.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's move on from this. I did want to talk really quickly about what are we playing? What are we like? Not like in depth, but like what's the next few things you guys are going to try to get through?
Metaphor.
After I finish Silent Hill 2, I think I am actually going to go for Metaphor.
Fuck yes.
Yeah,
Fuck yes.
I've gone over the hump of like the beginning that was like the demo or whatever, and I'm in. I'm like, yeah, I want to fucking play more of this. Basically, I can't remember what I just did, but I have the dude, the like skinnier dude, and the older dude in my party. The like bigger older dude, and I just got to choose their like classes.
Oh yeah, you're in that cave.
You're where the game starts, basically.
Yeah. I'm still very early, but I'm like totally ready to get going. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's
because I played Nine Souls, and like I was telling Chandler, I was ready for it to grip me, and it just never did.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm all right. I'll put it down. I don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And then played some Stalker 2. They said that there's going to be a lot of development in the next coming year, so I was like, okay, well, I'll wait. I don't really have a problem with that, even though the game itself is amazing. So yeah, I guess Metaphor for right now, and there's got to be something else that I'm missing. I mean, there is other stuff that I'll get around to.
If we all were able to finish Metaphor and really talk about it, that would make me so happy. Yeah, I think that game is something special. So I hope you guys like it. Yeah. Did you finish Dragon Age, Crossley?
I was just about to say, I've kind of cooled on Dragon Age a little bit. I want to play more of it, and there's nothing I don't like about it. I think I'm just not in the mood for what it is right now. I'm in the mood for honestly what Metaphor is, something I can like actively put down in the middle of my turn, do whatever I need to do, because Dragon Age is a little more. It wants all my attention, both for the narrative and the action itself.
So Dragon Age is kind of interesting for me because I get mad almost every time I play that game.
What makes you angry?
There is a dialogue or a writing decision that they make that makes me upset every single time.
Is it cringe? Does it make you wince?
It's less about cringe. It's like it's cringe because it's just a Marvel movie, I guess. Like it increasingly, some of it is better than other parts, but the main cast of characters. Okay, like the main cast of characters so far that I've gotten, the Warden, the Grey Warden that you recruit is the only one that I'm even a bit like, okay, performance wise, backstory wise, kind of what he's dealing with wise is interesting. Everyone else is just kind of there. I do not.
Balara.
I am okay with Balara, except for the fact that she is manic pixie dream girl like coded, which drives me a bit up the wall. I think that which is a shame because the little bit I've gotten from her kind of more dramatic side of her story about her brother is really interesting. Like, I think that stuff is cool. But then they make her like hey guys, whoa, let's say something quirky now. And you're like, okay, well, everybody fucking chill out. You're getting on my nerves. Your guy also, like the main character, is fine, but I feel like a lot of the times when you don't get to choose what he says, he says stuff that I think is weird and kind of embarrassing. And then what else? You have Puss in Boots on your team. What's up with that? Like what? The Antivan Crow guy is just Puss in Boots with a demon inside of him. It's like edgy Puss in Boots. He does the same accent. He's literally the same guy. He'll just be like, if nobody survives around me, the minute you turn around, I will stab you in the back. You know what I mean? And it's just like, okay, well, all right. I like having him and the Grey Warden in my party because it's just them threatening to kill each other the whole time. Somehow that is the least annoying of all of the options. I don't know. I think this game is very, very like unfortunately written because I think it's really fun to play. The main plot of it is interesting to me, and I think Solus still is an interesting character, and it's fun to interact with him, but you don't do it nearly enough. They make somehow, okay, God, I didn't mean for this to happen. I'm sorry. How is it that Varric like used to be one of the best characters in the franchise, and now he's just there for fan reasons?
Now he's the narrator.
He's the narrator, which he kind of always was. In Dragon Age 2, he was the narrator, and in Inquisition, you could see how he kind of that was his role, was to be the person who writes the story, who records the journey, right? But like, okay, sure, make him the narrator again, that's fine, but like, make him do stuff, make him interesting, even if like he just exists to be like, yes, I have a cool daddy. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. I mean, he's like your mentor. You know, he says cool things, but he's not complicated or interesting in any way. Whereas in the past games, it felt like there was stuff he was like dealing with. I don't know. Remove him or make him interesting. Why just have him there? All right, let's move on before I get too worked up. Sorry, what were you gonna say? Something Merced?
No. I was just listening.
Okay. So I might finish Dragon Age just because I think the main story is interesting, but I'm with you, Crossley. I think it's the gameplay is the only minute-to-minute thing that keeps me invested. Otherwise, it's just getting the main story moving so I can see what's going to happen. I do think the big choices they have you do are interesting. Did you get to the thing where they're like, there's a dragon attacking 2 cities?
No.
Okay. That to me, they're like, there's a dragon attacking 2 cities. You can only save one, pick one. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it makes the companion who represents that other city very mad at you. And it changes their class abilities. That's how mad they are at you.
Yeah, people was telling me about that.
So I actually kind of think they're doing some of that stuff well, but
that's like kind of what I was touching on when I first talked about it here, is just like, this is what I wanted to see from BioWare, even if this isn't like perfect exactly. Like, it makes me more excited for whatever the next Mass Effect or next thing they'll do is, because they've shown me that they're moving forward. They're not stuck in the same place that they were. They are learning lessons and trying to like do what they do better than they have before.
They're trying. They're trying. And I mean, you saw like, I don't know if you guys saw those news stories, but people were out there saying like, this was originally going to be a live service game, and then we pivoted away. So that's why some of the design decisions are the way they are.
Yeah.
It's understandable. I mean, the environments are laid out like Destiny 2, which I hate. Not,
what do you mean?
I don't hate Destiny 2, but like I hate the layout of the maps in Destiny 2, and you can see that it was done the same way in Dragon Age. Everything's
I'm not sure It's hard for me to see that.
Everything's like a weird path. There's no like open area. Everything's like a bunch of hallways that split off and then reconnect in different areas in the hallways. It's almost like, yeah, it's like
pretty linear. I mean,
but if you do some of the side quests, you'll start going back to old areas and unlocking new sections. It's almost like Jedi Survivor, really. Or sorry, let me actually go further back. It's like Jedi. What was the one before Survivor?
The Last Jedi?
Fallen Order. Fallen Order.
Oh, Fallen Order.
Yeah. The Fallen Order was kind of designed the same way this is.
Yeah.
In a weird way.
By that. Yeah.
There's not any climbing, platforming, that kind of. Well, there actually is some in Dragon Age, which I think is weird. More climbing than I would have anticipated, but it's not as much of that traversal stuff, like, Hollow Knight type. Let's unlock a new area because we now have a grappling hook or something. Actually, no, there is kind of that stuff too. They did do that. They just did that. But anyway, I don't like that. I don't want that in Dragon Age. So it's kind of annoys me.
So you can backtrack and go to the maps that you've been at before? In
Dragon Age, yeah. And new areas will unlock because you'll have new abilities. Yeah. So yeah, it is kind of that. It's a bit weird. And I think the map is not very interesting to run around in multiple times, to be honest. So in that sense, I preferred Inquisition, world design wise. So
yeah, I agree with that for sure.
And the ways in which this game doesn't connect to previous games makes me upset. So, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So for me, it's maybe Dragon Age, definitely Stalker 2. Gonna see that through. They've already patched that game like 4 times, but and Silent Hill 2. That's probably it. I feel like that would be enough to get me through everything. Is there something I'm missing?
The major ones that I have that I wrote down was, oh wow, Kingdom Come Deliverance is on here, but that got pushed back. But I had Slitterhead, and then I had Prince of Persia: Lost Crown, which I do really want to play. I might not get around to it, but I do really want to play that game.
Okay.
But yeah, it was really just like those major ones, and then of course like I'm gonna play Metaphor. So
hell yeah. All right. Looking forward to it, and I think I have some interesting ideas about how I want to handle some Game of the Year stuff this year. I think we should do the same thing we did before, but it might be fun for us to yell and argue at each other to try to organize a group top 10 list.
I'd be down.
For the year or for always?
For the year.
All time. Okay.
For the year. I think it would be interesting because there's a lot of good games this year. I think mostly we'd be fighting about what's in the top 5.
Do we include DLC?
Oh, yes, we do. Yeah, we include DLC.
No.
Yeah.
I think Merced likes that.
Yeah, I think he does too. We include DLC because I know Merced is thinking about including Final Fantasy 16, so we'll also include releases like that.
Oh, dude, if I can include Final Fantasy 16, hell yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, that's the trade-off. So
I will absolutely take that.
Yeah, me too. I'm not complaining.
Can I put in Super Hot VR too?
Yes.
But it didn't come out, did it? It's been out already. It didn't even come out on a new platform this year.
Don't check.
It didn't even come out on a new platform this year. At least if it was like the first year it was on.
It's best ongoing.
Yeah, I mean we do have a best ongoing category, by the way. So, all right, but we also have a best DLC category, don't we? Or no?
Dude, the PSVR 2 was on like a super sale recently, and I almost fucking bought it. It was
do not do that to yourself,
dude. It was like less than 300.
They would have to pay. Good. They would have to pay me to take that thing.
What, for the PSVR?
Yes,
you can use it on PC now.
Use it on PC now. It's actually worth it.
But you have to buy a separate breakout box for $70 or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
So I mean, but that's stupid, and it's not a dongle, by the way. It's a box. It's like decently sized,
Oh,
and it would
is
have
it?
to sit on your desk. Yeah, it's bullshit.
Well, I have a PS5. It's okay.
Yeah, but then you can only play the games that are on PS5, which is not that many for VR. I'm sorry.
There's Horizon.
Is there Metro?
Horizon.
Why is it a box?
All the power.
Oh,
Channel all the power.
It's so strange. Is it not? It's fucking weird if you look at it.
They fucked up, man. They fucked up so bad. There's no reason to
I'm
not.
okay with the box. I'm alright.
You should get no. Here's the deal. You
I
get
shouldn't be.
the quest, whatever the best Quest that you can afford money wise is the one you should is the VR headset you should own. Is that a 3? That's the 3. Yeah,
This is the latest one. So yeah.
it's the best. And I hate Meta, Facebook, whatever, but I mean, it is the best.
A new Quest.
It is the best headset. I mean, it's. Why would
But
you
I
buy
can't-
anything else?
I can't play the new Resident Evil VR. That's the only reason I would ever get a PSVR. Is because I want to play the Resident Evil 4 remake in VR.
Dude, Cole's been playing it recently. He's been texting me about it. He says it's the best thing he's ever done in VR.
I've heard it's-
Oh, wait.
I've heard it's
Resident Evil 4 remake is on the Quest store.
No, that's the original Resident Evil.
Yeah, they did
remake.
yeah,
You're right. That's
yeah.
right. Remake.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're
Which
right.
the original Resident Evil 4 for the Quest is still supposed to be like phenomenal.
It is,
But I
yeah.
really want to play the remake in VR. It would be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get what you mean, I guess. I don't know.
But I mean, don't get me wrong. I fucking love this thing.
I think I would
It's fucking
rather
amazing.
play. I mean, I Resident Evil 4 original in VR sounds interesting, but I'd rather play a game made for VR than a game adapted for VR, I guess. But like Metro is, you cannot play that outside of VR. That's like, or Half-Life Alyx, for instance, like the best VR game so far. Neither of you have
yeah.
played,
No,
by the
that's
way.
I was actually
Yeah,
playing it the
yeah,
other day.
Were you? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I think that game
Yeah.
fucking owns. I mean, it owns everything. I mean,
It's really fucking
it's crazy good. All right, squad. Let's wrap this one up.
All right.
Good chatting with you fellas. Let's get back together. I don't know. Let's get back together soon because the Game Awards is happening this week. I want to kind of talk about what the fallout of that is, and then it would be interesting to hear your thoughts on Metaphor if you play it more.
Are
in the next
we
week,
watching the Game Awards as a family?
no, because I'm traveling. So that by default that is a 0,
Fuck
but
you, Dad.
0 chance.
I'll watch it with you.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. I will be traveling and unable to join, but I will be keeping tabs on the show.
The
for
internet
sure.
does work long distance.
Buddy, what day is it? It's
He doesn't give
sorry.
a
Which
fuck.
day is it? Sorry, I should ask. What do we know?
It's on Thursday, right? That's weird.
Is it Thursday?
Is
I
it
have no
Thursday?
clue.
I thought it was the 12th.
Wow, they really should have a spot. December 12th, 2024.
Yeah, that is Thursday. 7:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern time. Maybe I actually can join you for this. I might be back in time for that.
Wow.
I actually, it'll be kind of a close one because I'm flying in that night back from my trip. So, but we'll see.
Damn.
We'll see. That would be cool though. I like to do that. So, either way though, we should talk about that. And I want to hear if you guys do start playing Metaphor. I want to get some opinions. So,
Yeah, I'll be playing it literally right after I eat after this.
word. All right, squad.
All right, toodles.
Peace.